Welcome everybody to Mona Plummer Aquatic Center, and then there were two left in this tournament between San Jose State and the Marist Red Foxes. I'm Parker Burrell here with Jaden Taylor, and we've had a blast doing this tournament here on Blaze TV. And these two teams, on paper, this is one of the more interesting matchups in this tournament, right, Jaden?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun to be able to watch. One of the faster teams in Marist that is needing a win today to, I think, eclipse themselves and get themselves inside the top 25 up against a top 20 team in San Jose State that's been kind of going up and down throughout this year. Big things on the line today, I think, for morale going to the back half of the year for both these teams.
Yeah, definitely talking about morale. San Jose State has flipped the script, beating Santa Barbara in one of the most defensive games in this at Mona Plummer, a 5-3 win against the Gauchos, who are one of the top-ranked teams in this tournament, and able to turn things around and then defeat Ottawa in their next game by a handful. So going into this one, you're playing one of the tougher teams as well on the Red Foxes, who are still trying to work their way into the top 25.
Yeah, and then this is going to be a big chance for them. We saw, again, Marist early on yesterday, so where they went step by step, they found their way near to some bigger wins up against Ottawa. It looked like, okay, this could be a chance where they could really give ASU maybe a strong push. They did so in that first quarter, but after that, everything went down the drain. Team wasn't as fast, not able to get out in transition as quickly, and everything flopped from there.
Yeah, I feel like one of the mantras we've seen from this Red Fox team is that they are just one leg short. They are one leg short. If they could put it in that next gear, they could be one of the more dangerous teams in water polo, because they seem to have the offense, they seem to have the defense as well, but they can't have them all at the same time and through all four quarters. But we've just seen that from San Jose State and also Santa Barbara. But we'll see if Marist can put together all four quarters here today.
Yeah, a big one to see if they can put together all four quarters. You mentioned how important that's going to be to have a consistent day all around. And this team, I think, can do it. You look underneath head coach and Chris Vidal, a team that's trying to find itself inside the top 25 and battle out against some of the top teams in the country. That's why you come out here for tournaments like this, and what has comparatively been a colder weekend in Arizona, but you come out here to a warmer weather atmosphere and get into the warmer pool and go against some good teams from out west.
Yeah, you mentioned the weather, and it definitely has been quite a difference of temperatures here on Super Pool Day, Super Pool Weekend. It's been quite a performance here between both teams.
Who needs the Super Bowl pregame show? You're right here.
Yeah, you are right here. There is no Taylor Swift watch. Instead, we'll opt for a Chris Vidal and Beth Harbert's watch. So keep in store for that. We're going to have quite the game here between both teams. The Spartans coming in, riding high on 2 straight wins, and Marist coming off of a tough loss to Arizona State, where they actually led for at one point, but then just faltered. And then, of course, having a tough game against Santa Barbara as well. So these are two teams one looking to continue with momentum, and the other looking to seize it. Marist just having a lot of problems so far, as both teams are gearing up to get fired up to this game, as they'll line up on the goal lines and they'll get ready to go.
Yeah, way to match up, and a good way to end off a fun weekend with so many different teams.
Lining up. One of the players I would want to keep an eye on is Tatiana Raffin in goal for the San Jose State. She has been lights out this entire tournament, especially in that Santa Barbara game when it came down to a lot of shots in goal, but just able to close them out. Yeah,
Raffin's been big in net. Offensively, I think for ASU, you're going to want to look at Darcy Spark and Macon Parton, who was big early on. And those are two pieces for San Jose State you're going to want to watch. For Marist, however, Emma Baumgarten was big yesterday, 3 goals on 7 shots, was an All-American honorable mention last year. And then Kaylee Brar, not quite as big in the first game today, but I think will be an offensive factor here against the Spartans.
Working inside, pass is deflected and poked free, and Marist controls it. So already San Jose State's offense struggling to find any consistency on their first possession. But still plenty left to play. Going on the outside passes inside, tipped and fighting for possession, eventually controlled by Baumgarten, who had herself a game earlier today. Working inside is the New Zealand native, Dean. Passes it inside to De Beer, who loses it, and that is just the defense of the Spartans coming into full play. Raffin doing a good job, and now facilitating it forward to Anderson Vallea. On the outside, staring down, looking over the chess pieces. Back up top, over to Fleming. At the top, pump fakes, then lets loose a shot that finds the back of the net. What a way to start for Renee Fleming.
Great way to begin a game like that. That's how you want to set the tone early. Get some early goals, find ways to get yourself on top and set the tone for later on.
Renee Fleming, do it all, why don't you? A junior into this one is Marist. Puts it into play. Carrington passes it forward, working on the outside. McCarroll surveying the floor, waiting for the gaps to fill in. Under tight pressure, pushed around. And when you're in that corner, it's like there's an extra defender. Feeds it up front, right in front of the crease. Tries to finish it off, and they do! Paige Nagel gets her first goal of the game.
Yeah, Nagel, we mentioned, was going to be one of our players to watch in game number 1, and she comes through with a big tying goal right there to start off this one.
Nagel finishing it off right in front of the goal. She got that pass, and then she knew where to whip it around. As I talked about the goalie, how tight she can be, Raffin, but just finding the right gap. There's some pushing and shoving at the point, eventually controlled by Fleming. Feeds it up front, ball's free, whistle blows, and it is controlled by San Jose State, but they have to feed it back out. Working the perimeter. Right at the point, pumps fake, shot finds the corner. There they go. Anderson Villela finds it yet again. Already starting off as dangerous as she can be. The Spartans getting 2 goals, leading 2-1 early in this duel in the desert. Marist in play, some pushing and shoving at the point. Going down is McCarroll. Surveying, trying for a cross-pool pass. Eventually collected, pumps fake shot and barely misses. Might have even greased the one of the posts, but just off its mark. As Nagel was yelling for it, clamoring for it, might have been tipped. They are influenced by the Spartans. They'll rule an offensive infraction, and just like that, it will go back to the Red Foxes. 2-1 lead for San Jose State, and that is something they've thrived in all tournament long. They are one of the more dangerous teams when they're out in the lead.
Now, they've been able to hold momentum, I think, has been the biggest thing. You saw San Jose State and UC Santa Barbara, the head coach for the Spartans, and Beth Harbert's talked a lot about it. Their matchup being able to take over the momentum late, and even with good play, find ways to win.
On the outside, 5 seconds to shoot. A long shot off the bar. Rebounded and collected and sent back to Raffin. That one had a lot of power on it. The goal still reverbing, and as the Spartans will push the other way. Sends it to the outside. Now cross-pool pass right in front of the goalie, and they will rule it in favor of the Red Foxes. Good job in goal right there by Sanchez. The Barcelona, Spain native stealing the ball, as that would have been a good opportunity for San Jose State to take a multiple goal lead. Marist wants to avoid that. Haven't done a good job in the hole this series. Ball stolen. Another defensive display by the Spartans. Passed on the outside. Trailing is Anderson Villela. Looking over to her teammates. Passes right in front. Pump fakes, then a shot, and it is blocked there by Sanchez. Renee Sanchez, and Marist is trying for a 2-1 opportunity. It will now become 2-on-2. Passes it over to Baumgarten and tries for a floater that hits the post. And right there to collect it is Tatiana Raffin. Good job causing confusion. Passed on the outside. Plotz now back up top. The Spartans doing a good job so far on offensively, at least shooting from distance as that one bangs on the post. The Red Foxes are there to collect it. And working forward will be McCarroll. Will take it herself. Down center pool.
Man, this is the time you got to find something quick. Back and forth defensive battle, just like we saw with Santa Barbara yesterday for the Spartans.
As Baumgarten's shot ricochets off Raffin's palm. They'll call a defensive foul. And they will call a timeout. That will be a timeout for the Spartans with 3:16 left in the first quarter. Marist trails San Jose State 2-1.
Okay, 7 White was the excluded player.
It has been a game between these two. This is a good opportunity for each time to get some substitutes.
Yeah, it looked like there was an exclusion on Marist after that quick break, and now a chance here for San Jose State to bring it up and get some offensive pressure.
Raffin throws it up top, now with a power play opportunity to the outside. Working as Fleming, then back up top, trying to space their team, while Marist trying to stay as close to the goal as possible and get as many palms in the way. Cross pool pass with an opportunity off the top beam. Eventually collected, sent back up top, pump fakes. And then that one finds the back of the net, but a whistle interrupts it. No rule of violation, and just like that, San Jose State will have to take the ball out of the goal to try again. Another power play opportunity. Back up top, now working the outside. San Jose State doing a good job from distance here today. As that one skip shots in, skipping rocks and finding the back of the net is Renee Fleming. Yet again here today.
Getting her name called and showing why she's such an offensive piece. This San Jose State squad find a way to break the tie here and find a way to add on some offense.
A 3-1 lead for San Jose State working in this one. Continuing to pile on, and a multiple goal lead has been one of the nemesis of the Red Foxes. Marist controls at the point. And that one is tipped and controlled by the Spartans. A 3-on-3 action. We'll see if they will pull the reins on the offense. Plots at the point, works it to the outside. Over to Ruzic. Looks over the pool, feeds it into the front. Pump fakes, then a shot just tipped and sails wide, and it will be controlled by Marist. The team who traveled the farthest is the Red Foxes, coming all the way from New York, from the Northeast.
Now from Poughkeepsie, New York, that is a long way coming out here. Not too far from the airport. You're getting to JFK pretty quickly, but finding your way back out here is another issue. So you're getting the last game of the weekend and then getting a long flight back home.
As whenever you go on these neutral site games, you always want to leave with some momentum. That's been one of the more important parts. Pump fakes, back over to McCarroll. Feeds it back up top. San Jose State's defense has been stuffing this Marist team all day long. Back up top, trying to work the outside. Not a lot of time left, and that one is blocked by Raffin. Getting her hands in the way. And now she'll feed it with an ice rope over to Spark, or rather Jensen. Trailing, 2-on-2 action. She'll wait for her team to catch up. Feeds it inside, and a shot just misses. Sails far. Controlled by Spark, and her shot is controlled by Sanchez. Mayor's defense buckling down on the transition attempt for the Spartans.
Yeah, their defensive pressure a lot better today than what we saw yesterday against Arizona State. Again, a different offense to match up against, but still very impressive how they've been able to collapse inside, force the San Jose State offense to work around the right and left flats and no chance to get into the interior.
Yeah, very little chances. 8 seconds left for McBrayer. And that pass is intercepted immediately by Spark. she'll relax as there are 30 seconds left in this period. A good opening start for the Spartans. Well, Marist still struggling to find answers. Has been hung up ever since that Arizona State game where they took that lead. And that one's intercepted right as I say it. McBrayer will take it herself and is hit from behind. 14 seconds. A defensive chance here. And it is exclusion, so it's a power play chance in transition. We'll see what the Red Foxes can do. Back up top, Hunt. 3, 2, 1, and a duck off the beam. Was so close to squeezing in there, but that's how it will end the period. The Red Foxes fall short on a last chance attempt. A 3-1 lead for the Spartans at the end of one. Jaden, what have you seen?
A lot of defensive pressure, and neither team has really been able to break the open spot right now or kind of break the egg a little bit here early. But I think if you're out of these sides, I think got to find a way to get some more long passes, get some long balls, to find some opening, maybe cherry pick a little bit, leave somebody out into the offensive end and get yourself some quick opportunities to, take that little slight advantage, because I think in a matchup like this, every single goal is so much more imperative.
Well, if you like defense, you seem to have the right channel, as we'll be right back here on Blaze TV for second quarter action. The water may be dyed a deep blue, but the intensity between these teams are red hot. San Jose State leads 3, while Marist is at 1. These two teams in a tight gridlock defensively. We'll see how it goes here at Mona Plummer Aquatic Center. Both teams in Tempe, Arizona, taking a Super Bowl vacation or a Super Pool vacation between these two.
Yeah, we're still about 6 hours south of Las Vegas. A lot of you wish they were up there on a weekend like this, but still been beautiful. A lot of rain early in the day throughout this weekend, Friday through Sunday, but once we've gotten to the early afternoon, 1 p.m., it's just been beautiful. A good time to be able to hang out, kind of hang around a little bit and watch some great water polo.
Yeah, it's great water polo it has been throughout this tournament, and it's shaping up to be a great game as well. Marist struggling offensively in that first one, but it's due to that Spartan defense that's just been so tough to combat throughout this entire the entire tournament.
It's been suffocating. It's been reasons like that. They do not allow pressure inside because they force pressure at the midline. And we saw that against ASU against Ottawa. They barely allowed the Spirit to even get inside the 7-meter line.
Inside to Bumgarten, whose shot finds its mark. Bumgarten finds it. She has been on fire throughout this entire tournament. And now cuts San Jose State's lead to 1. A pivotal point to start this period, as I'm sure Chris Vidal was preaching to his team during the quarter break about how they need to get back in it. They've been struggling coming back from deficits throughout this entire tournament.
That's the exact person you want to get hot. Big year last season, honorable miracle, honorable mention, and then now a chance here to make some more impact in this next year.
There's a change in possession. Red Foxes control it. They'll send it up. An ice rope over to Rachel Dean, going down the outside. We'll look over the pieces. The New Zealand native controls the ball. They give her a lot of room as she loses the ball as she tries to get a little too aggressive, and Raffin steals it. She'll send it up top. Moving with the ball. Loses it. That's Rusic with it. Sends it up over to Anderson Villela.
Got to get it off here. Nothing inside again. Sticking at the 7-meter line, and Marist's defense has been big.
As the clock will expire, but they will dump it off before so. So a good job by the Marist defense. And that's been 2 great displays from them back-to-back on the defensive side. A cross-pool pass deep over to Nagel, who's been one of our players to watch. Definitely a key player for this Red Fox team. At the top, controlling it is McCarroll, sends it on down over to Nagel, then back, trying to work the perimeter. 7 seconds to fire, sends it over inside to Bumgarten, who loses it on the spin around, and it's controlled by Raffin. A missed opportunity there for the Red Foxes, but who could blame them with how well spread out that Spartan defense was.
Yeah, both these teams have been allowing the offense to stick around. Again, the 7-meter line to about 5-meter line. We haven't seen anybody get really inside that red and have any sort of controlled chaos inside.
5:49 left to play. Marist gets another steal, and that's just been the story of this quarter so far. Marist limiting, kind of switching roles here. Last quarter, it was all San Jose State's defense causing turnovers, but it's been the opposite so far. Moving inside is Nagel on the outside of the crease. Fires a shot off the beam, rather. Controlled by Raffin.
Yeah, we're talking about the crossbar and the beam a lot this last game. A couple different players having a tough time finding the back of the net, but if you're Marist right now, I'm not hating the opportunities. Find ways, long passes up, and see open shots. They've had a couple open ones, just haven't been able to cooperate.
I mean, I get the philosophy as that shot misses and controlled by the Red Foxes. As I get the philosophy, you've had a rough go at this tournament. Try and mix things up. Try and see what works. There's nothing wrong with that. It's now the Red Foxes at mid-pool. They'll put it up top. Controlled by DeBeer. And then a shot aims true from Rachel Dean. The Auckland, New Zealand native finds the back of the net.
Yeah, so talk about a great ability to not fully pump fake, but pump fake with her eyes, truly. She looked towards the net, looked back out, and as she was looking away, quickly shot on net and took the eyes of the goalkeeper off her just for a moment to where it went straight through her hands.
And sometimes that's just one of those things where you develop. That's not really a skill you can teach. That just means she's been playing the game for a long time. That's that veteran experience coming in. San Jose State with possession. Raffin controls it. Wait for her team. And then sends it forward into play to Rusic. And then that one is poked free. Marist will control it. And now a transition opportunity for the Red Foxes.
This is where you really got to push.
Marist has been one of the faster teams in this tournament. We'll send it forward. They will call exclusion, and that passes to nobody, and just like that, San Jose State will move. They will not have numbers, though. Good job from the Red Foxes getting back on defense. They've noticed that that has been one of their shortcomings here in this tournament, especially against Arizona State, a game that we've referenced quite a lot ever since. Back up top, working is Ruzic. Pump fakes, sends it back on out. Controlled by Osorio, 5 seconds to shoot. Pump fakes and a long shot that is tipped and then controlled by Sanchez. Good job by Sanchez, the Barcelona, Spain native, the MAAC Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, she has been flying around the pool, and that's what you need, the steady, sturdy force in net right now. Understood it had to get off, understood your situation, you put yourself and your body out there to push it away.
Berard with it on the outside, pump fakes and sends it back on out. 4 seconds to shoot. Berard with a long shot that is controlled by Raffin. Sends it forward, and now San Jose State will try to push their own way. Spark, who's been one of the better scorers on the San Jose State team, has been almost absent from this game.
Yeah, very quiet right now. Not even too much pressure inside, which San Jose is trying to get right now.
And then a shot off the beam, echoes, and then reverbs in the pool. Still knotted up at 3 apiece between these two.
Yeah, Mizuski had a couple of goals yesterday. Great chance right there. Just had to get back up, had to get it off. And I'm not sure if she fully opened her eyes after being submerged underwater to be able to get that one off.
As it's always tough. Dean, and now there's an exclusion call. Red Foxes now with an opportunity for a power play. On the outside, Bentley sends it up top. San Jose State crashing between the posts. Dean will work the outside, throws it over and finished by Nagel. Massages the mesh in the back of the net.
We talked about Nagel's being one of the biggest players. She's been the main attacker throughout this weekend for Marist. And good way to go into the timeout, get yourself refreshed and get yourself back even in this game.
Yeah, as a timeout is called, and a good opportunity to do so, as Marist has flipped the script. 4-3, 2:28 left to play in this first half. And if watching water polo this weekend, these past 2 days, has taught me anything, this is not a game of halves. This is a game of period.
Yeah, this is a way, piece by piece, run by run, transition, and possession by possession. And you see right there, Chris Vidal talking to his group. Slowly but surely, they have found their way back even into this game. Now it's about taking it back, taking a fine way to overtake this game.
That they have. They've done a good job ever since the end of the first quarter. They've done a good job closing it out defensively and working with it. Currently leading 4-3. San Jose State, they've typically done a good job on, once they get a lead, staying with it. So that's why Marist had to get back in it, because they have struggled from behind as well. So it's kind of a worst case scenario for Marist and a best case scenario for the Spartans. But so far the scripts have flipped.
Yeah, if you're head coach Beth Harberts right now, you need to get that pressure back. Now down, you've allowed Marist to go piece by piece to get back into this and now take the lead. If you're the Spartans, I think you see that aggressive nature that they saw early. They're able to get inside quicker, and that's how they're able to get early goals. Continue with that. Find ways in open space to be aggressive offensively. And then on the defensive end, I think you need to find ways for your goalkeepers and some of the defenders back deep to, again, you mentioned crash the post a little bit. That's when they've been very good to be able to slow it down and force Marist a couple turnovers.
That has been their bread and butter, as Raffin will be at mid-pool. After the timeout, a good reset for San Jose State. They'll have a nice play drawn up, I'm sure, to try and equal this game. Raffin will get the ball. Play will resume. Fed in, working the perimeter. Controlled right now by Plotz. Sends it inside, and a blind shot echoes off the post. Controlled by Bentley. That one was a tough one with 2 defenders right near you.
Yeah, I think a little too quick to trigger on that one. Need to find a way to take a little bit more time, set your offense up and then find a good open shot.
And Samantha Bentley will control it, sends it back up front. 2 Auckland natives on this Marist team. Nagel on the outside, being pressed physically by Osorio. And a cross-pool pass over to Bentley yet again, and a hefty shot controlled by Raffin easily. 1:40 left in this first half. Tightly pressed and some pushing and shoving. Spark controls it. Pardon moving forward, but then push backwards. And they'll say it's controlled by the Red Foxes.
Yeah, Marist is the time to press. You have somewhat of an odd man rush now. Get San Jose State back on your heels and add on to this early lead.
That would be optimal to take perhaps a 2-goal lead, as that one is stopped by Raffin.
What a stop right there. And talk about how much that means with maybe 2-3 possessions left. That's your biggest block so far this first half.
1 minute and 5 seconds left, right in front of the goal. A lot of congestion, and we'll see what the call is. As that looks like we'll have a shooting opportunity here for San Jose State. And who else do you want to take it other than Darcy Spark?
Been so big. And she's got such a rifle right now, just a freshman, and showing off her ability. And honestly, even in her high school experience, it's why she was a team captain in high school and big in the program out west, and got a chance to even this up.
As the bazooka finds the back of the net. Darcy Sparks' aim is true, as you said, and just like that, 4 apiece between the Spartans and the Red Foxes.
And I mentioned earlier, that's why getting pressure in the interior is just so important. You force fouls, you force exclusions, you force free shots. And when you can be physical inside without getting yourself in trouble, that's when teams can really take over games.
Working down the middle is DeBeer, surveying over the pool. Just about 50 seconds left to play. Pass sails. Marist still controls it. That is the call. Sends it up top. An exclusion, another power play opportunity. Almost a nightmare for San Jose State. Trying to close the half tied or maybe with the lead. But Marist controls it. Another exclusion. 2 players gone for San Jose State.
You gotta find something here.
Controlling is McCarroll. Pump fake, sends it on back. 17 seconds still to work with, still plenty of time. And the first shot is off the post. Controlled by Raffin. A missed opportunity there for the Red Foxes. With 2 players missing, still can't convert. 10 seconds left to play. We'll see what the Spartans can do. Pardon with it down the outside. 5 seconds left. Back to the middle. And a shot finds the back of the net. With 1 second left exactly. Lucy Mazuski, the junior from Cape Town, Africa, South Africa.
Already a pair of shots today. That time finally gets it through into the goal. Great shot there, Mazuski, and a great way to end off the first half for San Jose State.
As that is the way the cookie will crumble here in Mona Plummer Aquatic Center in Tempe, Arizona. These 2 teams back and forth we go. San Jose State leads 5-4 over the Marist Red Foxes. This has been quite the game, hasn't it, Jaden?
Oh, it's been a lot of fun, and 2 teams battling it out. Again, you talk about the small runs that we've seen. Marist, a pair of goals to get themselves back ahead. Then San Jose State ripping through, and you see Lucy Mazuski, a big-time goal way out past the 7-meter line to get it to go. And that's the kind of shots you need in games like this to end off the weekend on a high note.
Yeah, you are exactly right. We're going to take a quick break here for the half, but we'll be right back for second half action on Blaze TV between San Jose State and the Marist Red Foxes. Don't go anywhere. Parker Perel and Jaden Taylor will be right back with second half action. Welcome back, everybody, to Mona Plummer Aquatic Center here in Tempe, Arizona. And the sun is up, and so is everybody on their feet here for some water polo action between San Jose State Spartans and the Marist Red Foxes. I'm Parker Perrell here with Jaden Taylor, and we have had ourselves a game between these two. San Jose State took a lead, Marist took it right back, and then San Jose State took a 5-4 lead as we now head into the second half of action. Yeah,
no better way to end off the weekend like this. Two teams trying to fight their way through top spots in the top 25 and get good wins. And this is why you want to do it. This is ways you want to be able to test yourself going into the back half of this season. And Marist is getting what they wanted, but it's a tough weekend for them. But they've got the top competition to face up against here this weekend.
Yeah, it has been a lot of competition between these two as the ball is thrown into play, and it's won by the Spartans. Marist typically wins those, being one of the better swimming teams between these two.
Yeah, they've won the swim-offs a lot here thus far. Honestly, all 3 days. I think we noticed it yesterday with Marist against Arizona State. They were a quicker team to the ball early.
Ball stolen, a missed opportunity there for the Spartans, controlled by Sanchez. The sophomore goalie from Barcelona, Spain, sends it forward for the Red Foxes. Worked on the outside, surveying the floor, trying for a cross-pool pass as they will rule an offensive foul. A lot of pushing and shoving going on, and just like that, the Spartans will control the ball.
Yeah, I think that was Nagel trying to get that cross-court feed inside. Really aggressive, trying to find in there near their goal, just a little bit too much.
Yeah, the Red Foxes perhaps trying to be a little too aggressive. They're not the best team when you're playing down, so trying to perhaps play a little too much hero ball as that one's controlled by Marist, pushing forward. Fed right on a dime to Carrington, who will work down the outside. Some transition ball. The Red Foxes, Carrington will move forward, closes with a shot, and that one misses just on the outside of the goal.
Another good chance, and again, I think this has been the change for head coach Vidal, trying to find ways to force pressure in, force the issue early, and then you get some chaos on the other side.
Causing chaos has been something Marist has tried to do throughout this tournament. Inside, some pushing and shoving, controlled by Anderson Villela. Sends it back on out. These two teams back and forth. Then an exclusion on the offense, it appears. Or no, a shooting foul. And so just like this, Darcy Spark has a chance to go back and shoot. The Auckland, New Zealand native, a freshman who has just been so deadly for this San Jose State team.
Yeah, near double-digit goals for this weekend. She's been so big.
And that one finds the net. A howitzer destroys the back of the net, and Darcy Spark proves why she's been just so dangerous this entire year.
Just a freshman is Spark, and kind of breathing to her future. She very well could take over as one of the top attackers here in the MPSF.
That she can, going down the middle, controlled by DeBeer. Sends it to the outside, pushing back and forth. These two teams have been very physical with each other. 6:15 left to play in the third period. Just to the near side of the crease is DeBeer. Sends it up top, pump fake, then a pass inside, and then finished off! Baumgarten finishes it off, and that's not the first time we've said that. They appear to like to feed it inside to Baumgarten. She uses her muscles and finishes it off right in front of the net.
These last probably 8 minutes of game time have been a battle between Spark, Lazewski, as well as Baumgarten. These three are the top attackers for these two squads and making their name known.
6-5 lead for San Jose State, but Marist pushing back on in there. The Red Foxes clawing their way to a 1-point deficit. Passed over to Anderson Villela. Working the perimeter, Marist getting very physical up front. Spark looks over the floor. And back up top. Working around the Red Foxes. Doing a good job with not a lot of time left. Sent up in the middle, there's pushing and shoving, and the Red Foxes control it.
And that's why that interior pressure is so important, right? They were slow to get up, the shot clock continuing to wind down, and they couldn't get inlet pass to find anything there. Great defensive stop by Marist.
Defense has been huge so far in this game. Still on the outside is Nagel. Red Foxes pushing, just 10 seconds left on the shot clock at least. Back up top with a skip shot that is controlled by Raffin. Might have hit the post anyways, but still, Raffin, just to be safe, controls it and will send it up for the Spartans. Going on down is Ruzic. Will look over the pool, pushed on, still controlled by San Jose State. Pushing back and forth between these two. Osorio sends it up over to Plotz, and a shot echoes off the beam, and then a rebound shot from Barton. The putback.
Couple good offensive rebounds like that straight off the pipe, and again, it's kind of tough for a goaltender to have it go above you off the iron. You can't tell where it's going to go. You're losing your kind of depth of perception, and right out in front of there, able to get in the back of that, and San Jose State extends just a little bit further. This game has not been comfortable, though.
It definitely has not. 7-5 lead for the Spartans. And especially as a goalie, that one's a tough one to take. As now there's a stoppage of play, Marist player going to retrieve their head cap. And some substitutions for Marist as well along the way. Red Foxes will control it as they now face a 2-goal deficit. 7-5 lead for San Jose State. Working down the middle, pass to the outside, and that one just ricochets off Raffin's palm. A good side-on sling from Berard, but an even better save by Raffin. Going down the outside, controlled by Plotz. We'll send it up front. And that one is blocked. Spark shot, controlled by Sanchez.
What a block. You could hear it from over here. Firm contact, and a great way to keep this close.
That one may be pivotal. We'll see how this game turns out. Rachel Dean on the outside, pushed back, still controlled by the Red Foxes. Sends it to the other side, pushing and shoving, back and forth we go. 10 seconds left to shoot. They'll rule exclusion, so the Red Foxes with a power play opportunity here. The outside yet again, and then back up top. Trying to work the perimeter. San Jose State is crowding that goal line. Dean works the outside, sends it even more so. Still working it, pump fakes. And then it's lost. Berard on the near side sends it up top to Dean. Pump fakes, thinks about shooting it, and that one's tipped. Still controlled. And that one is controlled. They will say that it's a shot attempt, so Marist will still be able to control the possession.
Yeah, much needed time. Only had about 5 seconds where they'd allow that one up.
But that does end the power play. Controlled from Berard on the perimeter. We'll look over. 7 seconds left, pushing and shoving. Still Marist ball as that one sails wide. 3:05 left in the third period of play. San Jose State leads 7-5. Spartans push the other way. On the outside. Sent on over to Jensen. A lot of contact. That was a pass right up front. An exclusion call. San Jose State aims to take a 3-goal lead. Up to the point. Moving forward. They gave her a lot of room. Sends it to the outside. Trying to work the perimeter. Cross pool pass and finished off right in the gap is Rose Jensen. The freshman having an impact.
That's how you extend it. Slow, compact, compartmentalized, very well put together right there by San Jose State.
A very well put together possession indeed between these two. San Jose State doing a good job in this second half. Did a great job closing it out, and we were wondering how it would fare, but so far been faring very well if you're a Spartan fan.
Yeah, Marist kept pushing their way closer and closer and on their way back and just didn't quite end up being the kind of push that they needed.
Now it's an 8-5 lead for the Spartans. Marist controls the ball on the outside, working with it at the point. Then an outside shot controlled by Raffin. The shot from Padilla misses. Spartans will push the other way. Sent up to Mazuski. Then feeds it inside over to Sparks. She loses it, and that one is stolen away from Sanchez. And Sparks is frustrated with the no call. And swimming on down is McCarroll. We'll pull the reins on the offense, and we'll wait for Red Fox allies to set on up on offense. 8 seconds to shoot on the shot clock. 1:35 left in the third quarter of play. That one misses its mark. 2 seconds left, caught up, and then lets it loose, but that one's off the beam. They'll rule the shot clock expired even before the shot. Raffin controls it. We'll send it forward. Controlled by Barden. Physicalness between these two teams. Sends on up to Spark. We'll look over the pool.
You mentioned the physicality. It seems like it's gotten a little bit more so recently. Both these teams really being physical out near the 7-meter line.
Sent up right in front of the crease, and that one, we'll see what the call is. Will it be exclusion? And it is exclusion on Marist, so a good opportunity here. As they'll see what it is, it's exclusion on number 11, Hansberger, instead of McCarroll. That's what the confusion was about. As head coach Chris Vidal clearly not happy with the call. Standing up. Ball put into play, a new 30 seconds for San Jose State. Pump fakes, sent up top over to Plotz. Trying to work the perimeter yet again. Outside, pump faked again, and that one echoes right off Brard's hands. Sent on back to Sanchez, and she'll move it on forward over to Hansberger, who will move forward after causing the penalty.
Xavier Maris, one true possession left. Got to make the most of it. Take your time, find a good shot.
28 seconds left, 5 seconds left to shoot. Pushed on down, 3 seconds left. Sends it cross pool, or rather ditches it with 22 seconds left. Raffin will go to collect it, not a lot of time left.
Yeah, that was entirely an understanding by Leanna Hunt on the far side, just to throw it over and buy time.
Is that one controlled right in front of the crease, loses it, pushing back and forth, and that one is finished right in front of the goal. Plotz finishes it off. Sanaya, the sophomore. 8-5 lead for San Jose State. A good job closing it out with only 11 seconds to play in this third quarter.
Yeah, and she's going to get subbed out. She has played a lot here in this second half. Taking that time, finally getting the shot you need, and just a little bit more push, just a little bit more to get yourself a little further ahead to take away a big win here today.
The Red Foxes have it in mid-pool. Pushes it on back with 10 seconds. I bet they want this to be the last possession of the game, not of the game, but of the quarter. Pushing and shoving. 2 seconds left, and expires, and that will be the period. All Spartans here, 8-5 lead for San Jose State over Marist between these two teams.
Yeah, Lucy Mazuski, I got to shout out that last play. Understood the assignment, just 6-7 seconds left. A chance for Marist to maybe put something on net, but did not even allow that to even be a second. You see there, she's getting some love from her couple other teammates. They love the defensive pressure. Make sure there's no chance for Marist to even get a shot on net.
Good job defensively from San Jose State. That's what they pride themselves on, being a physical team. We're going to go to break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for the final quarter of action on Super Pool Sunday here on Blaze TV. Final quarter of action here on Super Pool Sunday between San Jose State and Marist Red Foxes. And this has been quite the game. Last period, the third period was all Spartan, 9-5 lead for San Jose State. The Red Foxes have been struggling on the defensive end, but even more so on the offensive side, these two teams in a bitter slugfest.
Yeah, Beth Harberts has got to be happy to what she's seen from this team early on for this group. Exactly the type of defensive pressure they've needed. They've resulted in that offense pressure on the other end.
And they have Fleming controls it, sends it forward for San Jose State. Working back and forth. Now over to the middle of that one by Sanchez. Sanchez, a good job from Marist early in this fourth quarter to regain possession. Right at the point. Dean sends it forward. That one is stolen right by Lucy Mazewski, who you shouted out right at the end of the third period.
That's an defensive pressure that you want to see from someone like that utility player, the junior from Cape Town, able to do everything. A gold today, a couple blocks, already a pair of steals. You're able to do everything. And when you can do everything in such a physically exasperating sport like water polo, you're able to do so much and be such a good piece to this team.
The pass inside of Lucchese, an exclusion call. 30 seconds left to play. 30 seconds left on the shot clock. On the outside, Mazewski surveys over the floor, sends it up top, pump fakes, and then a shot will howitzer off Sanchez's palm. Controlled by McCarroll, and the Red Foxes will push the other way, feeding it to the guilty party of the exclusion, Berard, as she'll head on down the outside.
Yeah, Berard we've not heard a ton of this weekend. I was honestly personally expecting her to kind of be more of a bigger force. She's been in and out, but not quite the biggest piece to this group right now.
6:30 left in this fourth period. A long shot snipes its way into the back of the net. A deep shot there by Layla McCarroll. San Jose State still leads 9-6, but the Red Foxes, they have some life on that CAT scan. Some substitutions now reigning in for the Spartans. Raffin to put the ball in play for the Spartans. 6:20 left. Some good physical back and forth pushing between these two. Just like that, sends it up. Team's clamoring, and then a skip shot finds the back of the net. Sanaya plots yet again. The Duisburg, Germany native finds the net, and now it's a 10-6 lead for the Spartans. Almost a nightmare scenario for the Red Foxes.
And again, another second half, I don't want to say collapse, just entirely a different team right now for Marist. The fast pressure, the up-tempo feel is not there right now, and they all seem to be physically beat defensively.
On the outside is McCarroll. Something we talked about before all this was, oh, and that shot, Nagel gets strings.
Who else? Third goal, another hat trick for Nagel, and why not add it on close the kiss too? That's the type of energy that you need right now to get yourself back into this with just 6 minutes left.
Just 6 minutes left. Now it's a 10-7 lead, a little bit more manageable for the Red Foxes. But something we talked about early is how Marist has struggled coming from behind. We'll see if they can put it all together and playing all 4 quarters as well.
They've struggled to finish games, I think, this weekend. I think it's the biggest thing that you're going to note for Chris Vidal as they head back over to New York after this weekend. Got to find a way to keep the same pressure, keep the same energy throughout the entirety of the 32 minutes of these games.
Controlled by the Red Foxes after the offensive foul. 5:25 left in this 4th quarter. A little bit of panic mode has to step in for this Red Fox team. On the outside, Dean controls it. Look over the pool. Trying for the cross-pool pass, launches it, and that one is ripped on out of the air. How did Mazewski get up there?
Doing everything. It's purely incredible what Lucy Mazewski is doing. Offensive end, defensive end, yeah, I think she's tired. It's been a long day out there in the pool, and get her some fresh minutes to reset, get her body a little bit calmer after 4 games in 2 days, and get her back out there for the final 3 minutes to be that same force.
These two teams entangled. Only 3 points separate them. Sent back up top, controlled by Darcy Spark, who although has came back a little bit today, was silent at the beginning, but those 2 penalty shots proving to cause a lot of damage in this one. Pump fakes from the outside, sent in the middle, poked free. They'll call exclusion. And San Jose State has another power play opportunity.
Big chance right here, gotta convert.
Pump fakes, working back and forth on the outside. Fleming, back up top. Sparks controls it, sends a cross-pool pass. Back up top, 13 seconds to work with. Sparks, skip shots, but right into the midst of Sanchez.
Another great block. Put yourself out as big as possible out in front of the net and force them to try to go around you. Skips it right into her chest.
Hansberger down the outside. 4 minutes left to play. 13 seconds left to shoot, sent back up top. Carrington feeds it into Dean. Poked loose, but then controlled back. A pass tipped. That one's poked free and then controlled by the Spartans. Another good defensive stop by San Jose State. The Sparks pushing down mid-pool. Sparks at the point, sends it on back, looking to get some room. Osorio's pass will echo out of bounds. Controlled by Anderson Vieja. Not controlled by Anderson Vieja, lost by Anderson Vieja. And now they'll send it forward. 3-on-1, a mismatch for Marist. And a shot finds the corner of the net. Kaylee Berard.
Haven't found her much, haven't heard of her much this weekend, but man, she's been so good earlier on this season. A pair of multi-goal games in the first 2 weekends, and got to get her name more involved and so big as a part of this squad.
As the deficit is cut to 2. San Jose State still leads, but Berard finding an impact, though being quieter than usual in this tournament.
Yeah, nearly 50 goals across the last 2 seasons. And the senior attacker, especially in moments like this where you're getting down to the wire, need to be the veteran person.
Up top, Fleming sends it on down, loses it, but controls it back again. Sparks sends it on down. Back up top to Fleming. Pump fakes, skip shot, blocked, and Sanchez controls it. There's a scrum for it, and the Spartans still only working with it. And the floater is poked by Sanchez, and they will rule an exclusion, perhaps, or a stoppage of play, rather. They'll rule out of bounds. That's a goal. And San Jose State will pause and then resume play. Cross pool pass over to Plotz. Pump fakes, thinks about shooting, and does! The sidearm sling slithers its way into the net.
Yeah, Potts again, right, finding her way right across the open point. Kind of drove her way across that right flat, and they got inside, found the open shots, and Sanchez only so much space you can take up.
11-8 lead for San Jose State. That one proving crucial as it widens it to a 3-goal lead with 2:40 left to play. Garrington controlling it. Sparks playing tough, close defense. And they'll rule an offensive foul. And so we'll go to the way of the Spartans. Working down the outside, controlled by Lucchesi. Look over her team. Cross pool pass over to Anderson Villela. Sends it in. 2-on-2, pump fakes, and a floater will just edge past Sanchez.
Potts again doing it in every different way. That time from the right flat, we've seen her from the left wing, straight on from the points. And again, when you're able to kind of do a roll shot more so than a straight stinger to the back of the net, it kind of chooses up your different options and forces the defense to be a little bit more on their toes.
As the San Jose State Spartans have been almost, I won't want to say unstoppable, have played a really solid game in the second half. 12-8 lead for the Spartans. Marist struggling for answers with around 2 minutes left to play. Cross pool pass, Carrington has it. Spark pushing. Sent on down to the outside. Surveying the floor. Cross pool pass, controlled, and a sidearm sling echoes off the pole. Rafic controls it, and it will go the way of the Spartans. 4-goal cushion for San Jose State as they want to take this game out of the farm, as they want to milk as much clock as possible.
And down 4 with under 2 minutes left to go. It's desperation time right now if you're Marist.
Pazuski feeds it on down over to Pardon. There is a timeout buzzed, called by the Red Foxes. So with 1:36 left, we'll see what Marist can pull out of their bag of tricks. 12-8 lead for San Jose State with 1:36 left.
Yeah, talk it over, find a way to set your offense and your defense up. If you're Marist, got to find a quick turnover, and you got to be getting every last ounce out of it. Final day, final game of this long weekend for Marist and these two squads. And got to get that last ounce if you want to find a come back with this and at least get some sort of moral victory. As you see the schedule there from this weekend. Been a fun Sunday. Ottawa, tough weekend.
Yeah, tough week if you're Ottawa. San Jose State went in, took on the Spirit and came away with a 24-3 win, and then right after that, what an exciting game between USCB and Marist. But Marist, once again, falling short in that one. 10-7 win for the Gauchos, who had a decent tournament. Obviously that loss to both the Spartans and the Sun Devils. But then right after it, the Sun Devils took on the Spirit, and then what a showing from ASU, right, Jaden?
Yeah, I mean, ASU, what a weekend. Complete domination up against two different top 25 teams. They added their resume to arguably maybe be a top 5 team after a weekend like this. They came into the weekend 7th, couple of their teams that they can maybe hop over after a big weekend like this. And we mentioned how good Luca Pinvori could be, or Pintavori could be, and then the question was, okay, you have her, you have a couple different pieces on this offensive end. Who are the depth? Who are the teammates, who are the players that are going to come through when it's absolutely needed against a game like next week in UCLA, where you got to be physical, you got to be quick. I think we found those today with the win up against Ottawa. 12 different players getting involved, and I think everything that you could ask for Coach Petra party was answered here these next 3 days.
As the Super Pool Sunday slate has been nothing short of entertaining. It's been an absolute blast here to cover. Controlled by Fleming. Whistles back and forth. An exclusion is the call. Marist finds themselves in an even deeper hole. Shot will ricochet high, but then controlled by Spark. Back and forth, and then a shot controlled by Sanchez. Timeout whistled.
Smart idea right there for Vidal to call a quick timeout, get a couple of different substitutions maybe in, take his entire team over, and get them reset.
A minute 4 left. A tough spot to be in for the Red Foxes, trailing by 4. As you have to wonder, what do you tell your team if you're Vidal? What possible game plan do you have for this situation?
Go up, be quick, get every last piece out of you, get every last swim out of you. In a moment like this, it's going to be on the weekend no matter what. You don't got anything else that you got to push for. You're just waiting on another long flight back home to New York. This is the time where you put everything out there to either get a chance to get back into this and maybe win it, or at the end of the day, just get a moral victory and show that you were able to compete against 3 different top 25 teams this weekend.
Absolutely. You got to have quick hands, quick possessions, quick swims. And if you're San Jose State, you want a quick end to this game.
Yeah, I think one's defensive stop, and this one's over. Marist need just about everything possible to find their way to win it.
Sanchez feeds it in. Carrington at the point. Look over the pool. A lot of off-ball movement. 21 seconds left to shoot. Just under a minute left to play. Feeds it outside. Looking cross pool. Outside to Berard. And back up top. Team pump fake shot tipped. And that one goes out of bounds. Controlled by San Jose State. 46 seconds left to play.
And that was the last stop needed. That was the last stop needed for Beth Harberts to come away with a big victory and end off their weekend, which has been an up and down start. It's been an up and down start to the year, but ending off with a convincing win and get yourself to next week getting an MPSF play.
As the San Jose State team had 4 key losses in this year, but 4 key losses to top 25 teams, top teams in the country. So I think this was a huge morale boost to their team. As the Red Foxes quick to steal that one, not before a foul being called. Controlled by the Red Foxes, so definitely frustration has to loom here.
And Marist is going to take a quick timeout. I'm not sure if Vidal just wants to have a quick conversation or get a couple substitutions in. Yeah, that's the change.
Last timeout of the game for Vidal. Definitely wants to do as much as possible. You want to go in after a neutral site trip. You want to leave it rather with as much momentum as possible. And I think a quick goal here would mean a lot to this team.
Yeah, find a way to get something put together. Don't want to leave here feeling demoralized after what honestly has been a tough weekend. You got your big win. You had some presence. You had some opportunities early to where you could be a quick team. But again, it's now about what do you do next? What do you come through and get through a full 32 minutes of play?
It's been back and forth for most of the game, but the third quarter separation just proved so vital for this team. San Jose State, all credit to Beth Harberts. just after going down, she came up with the right game plan, and her girls, they went out there and they gave Marist all they could handle, and they came out with a win.
A deliberate mindset, and that's what Harvards has shown this week, and that's what she's shown all year long for San Jose State. I think there's a good patch on the horizon for the Spartans, even after an up-and-down weekend. They got a lot of young pieces. Spark's going to be really fun to see in the future. Parton as well, the junior, got another year to work with. There's so many different pieces I think can learn, can grow, can get through a big year like this, and then see what maybe could be on the horizon for a year down the road.
Broad will take it at the point, 10 seconds left. Shot controlled by Raffin. Raffin will send it on out. Anderson Vayela will take it in the corner. And that will do it. Time expires, it's 0-0. San Jose State comes away with a tough 12-8 win that came down to a crucial third quarter of separation between these two.
Now, third quarter was the difference, and another second half kind of is falling apart for Marist, just unable to keep the momentum going, keep the same composure that they had early on. And San Jose State, they'll play a full 32 minutes. That was the difference at the end of it.
Yeah, that was the difference between these two. The Red Foxes putting forward a lot of effort, started out strong yet again. I feel like that's the third straight time we've said that they just come out strong. They have the pieces offensively. They have the pieces defensively. Chris Vidal had a great game plan coming into this one, but so far as execution, San Jose State was able to execute it for the full 4 quarters. That's going to about do it here on Blaze TV on Super Pool Weekend between Marist and San Jose State. I'm Parker Perrell with Jaden Taylor. This has been quite the weekend here for water polo, but as always, we'll see you next time on Blaze TV.